so on camera, we can throw to that. So and so's ready over here. You can throw to that. Like,
it's a talent. It's some shit you
oh
gotta
yeah.
practice for real. Because imagine a motherfucker saying something in your ear that you don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? You react. You know what I'm saying?
When they tell you cut it short.
I'm
like
talking to Steve, and it's like,
wrap it up. You like,
hey man, shut the fuck.
he be doing that.
Shut the fuck up.
You telling the whole
what just happened?
Like, yeah, the end. They like, nigga, what? Where we at? Episode 274 of the ALOT podcast. Might as well get that out the way right now.
Did you go back? You went forwards and then went backwards.
What am I at now?
It should be 275, right? But you did the last one. You did 273, number one, and it was like 273.
No, it was number ones because we was talking about the R&B list.
Right, but that was two. But it was two because if you scroll at it, you got it's 273s.
Oh, so we 275. See what I'm saying? Episode 275 of the ALOT podcast. Got myself, Javen, and Ahmad. We are live on Kick, if anyone cares.
Kick.
Yeah, it's a streaming platform to let you cuss, talk shit, and
oh, wow. Okay.
Fuck. They don't
fucking A.
Yeah, their rules are the most lenient of all the streaming places.
What are you, a frat boy now?
Kick and Rumble.
Always been.
Yeah. Fucking A, man.
Fucking yeah. Let's go play some hacky sack in the quad.
I ain't seen that in a while. They don't do that no more.
White boys don't do
that. You up in Lincoln Park? Yeah,
I don't know. They had hacky sack and frisbee. They
don't do none of that shit. I ain't seen white boys do not fuck with that shit.
He definitely did it at Illinois State. I mean, like religion.
Who invented
That's what it was. That's
an unsung hero, the inventor of hacky sack. Hell no.
I mean, who thought about just kicking a beanbag?
You know, it's
on the side of your foot.
It's some soccer training shit
that you can't do it as long as I can.
That's where it starts because it's a training to teach you how to teach you how to juggle.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's smaller than a ball. It don't spin. It's flat. It teach you how to. That's what it is.
Rest in peace to Walter.
Rest in peace to my Uncle Walter. I'm sure Chug and Dad had a nice long cry. They lost they lost one of their brothers. Whispers, man. Shout out to Walter and Scotty. Rest in peace to Walt. Not Walt, Scotty. Scotty's real name is.
I thought it was Walter though. Man.
No, Walter is one.
Right.
The other name I want to say is like Wallace. It's Wallace. But they just call him Scotty.
But Walter's the one that passed, right?
No, I thought Scotty. I thought Wallace.
I thought it was Walter.
I gotta ask Dad. It's his brother.
They had some too, man. They had some iconic videos.
Yeah, shit you tell the girl.
Iconic.
Pull up in a Cadillac, you be like, take your shoes off.
They got some, man.
You're right, it was Walter.
It was Walter. Yeah. Them niggas used to be stepping and shit.
You goddamn right.
Oh, speaking of, not speaking of, but just, of course, make you think of Will Smith. He had a horrible week, dude. I should have wrote that up there. That nigga got some shit going on. That's how that nigga performing out in the middle of London. He doing that Girls, and Rita Ora popped out.
No, I didn't hear nothing about it.
Oh my God, it's just bad.
I just seen
I saw a video of whatever song that is. What you say it's called, Girls, or whatever. I saw that over that Drake track. That shit sounded wonderful.
No,
that shit sounded classic.
Some DJ
shit.
was like, you need to speed it up 20 BPMs or slow it down 20 BPMs. And somebody did it, and it's true. That shit slowed down, sounds great. It's a our era club shit. That's what it kind of that's what it kind of sounds like. I don't know if it was 20, maybe like 10 BPMs. And then sped up, it just sounds what he's trying to do with the dance shit. It sounds real.
Okay.
dance. You know what I'm saying? But not techno, but it just gives it,
yeah,
the drums
the
feel
vibes.
better. It's
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
faster. It feels more of a, oh yeah, you can dance now.
I
Like
wonder
that
who was
shit,
the engineer on that. Who was like, nah, we gonna do it right here in the middle.
That nigga, that shit, man. Midlife crisis is true for black folks.
I leave Will Smith
And it's
alone.
fucked up too
It's
because
Will
he actually
Smith in London.
snapped when he did the
But
little.
look at the crowd.
freestyle.
Nobody is dancing. Nobody is reacting to this shit.
Is that Irv Gotti?
Irv Gotti is dead.
For real. For real.
Yeah, no. Yeah, kill it.
It's Rita Ora looking old as hell. Looking high as hell.
Is that Akon like little brother?
You had to like, he should have did like a grimy remix or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you gonna go over to London and try to perform it, that's definitely not the like that's, or like I said, speed it up. Make it that. I'll find that shit, man. To show y'all.
I want to see Big X the Plug remix one of these rock steadies. That Houston nigga be making some shit.
I'm
Boy.
sick of that nigga, man.
You hate anybody that's owned, but also don't listen to music to find nobody own your own.
You know what? Fuck you. How about that?
On that note, let's get started.
Yeah, how about that shit? So,
Where y'all want to start? We can start anywhere.
you. Let me see. What we gonna do? How about, we can just get this out the way since we already
No,
talked.
first, I know what I want to ask y'all.
Wow.
Just to set the tone. No, because I forgot. I didn't write it up there. We set the tone for the pod. I wanted to ask y'all, what is off limits to y'all while potting? Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to, like, some people be like, my mom, my kids, no jokes on.
Anything that you two may know that like get me fucked up.
See, that be the thing. What you tell us and what you tell other people is like you be,
get me fucked up.
The way you lie.
You got look at the clues. If I'm like,
But sometimes
cut that shit off.
No, but I need a topic though. So it's not necessarily a topic because that could be a subject or a topic within a topic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you can talk about my mom, but don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? What is blanket that is like no? I was gonna say joking on my kids, but you can joke on my kids.
It just depends on what the joke, but it depends on what the joke is. It depends on like
Y'all close enough to me where I don't think y'all mean no harm.
Yeah,
Even if it's sting, I know you don't.
But you can,
You know what I'm saying?
But you can say a joke about like Naomi that, you know what I'm saying? But there's a joke that it's like, nah, like that's not fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's you crossing the line a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like there are spaces of like, like
inappropriate and uncomfortable is two different things, right? Like I can there's a
no, I'm talking more inappropriate.
no, I know that, but I'm saying like it could be
But even then, the topic wasn't all put in. It was what he said
right
about
or how
the
I
topic.
delivered it, or you know what I'm saying. So I'm saying it's like for instance, like y'all moms. I'll say both y'all because you talk about your mom on the pod a lot. You talk about your mom on the pod a lot.
She probably about to call me.
She listens. She watched the stream. She got the stream.
You know what's funny? My mom could get kicked. She would fucking she's like, well, show me that. You gotta show me.
Just
No,
show me
no,
how
no,
to-
no.
like,
You
slow
see,
down,
no,
slow
no,
down.
I
You got too many lines to me already. Yeah, I don't have nothing that's just blanket. Probably my gambling.
What the fuck?
I don't want the world to
Look,
know.
No, it ain't even that. Like when I had showed you the thing, and you like, yes, sir, 4 exclamation point, it's gonna pop. I'm like, that was hate. Of course, I mean, I'm a gambler. I know it's gonna pop. You don't have to say the obvious. Like, we don't have to, like, let's not say that part. Like, just say.
Good to know that's how you feel, guy.
I'm like, that was hate.
Wow.
Like, why you have to tell me it's gonna
I
pop?
wonder how long to like this nigga gambling on like cricket and shit. Like,
I
just,
don't even gamble real money. I be sending my winnings.
just just random.
I be sending.
ass
I
fucking
gamble
sports and
anything,
shit.
anything,
Yeah,
anything.
see?
I got the numbers on. If I look, because I don't even be looking at the game. I be sitting there while they watching the game. I'm gambling. Like they already got their bets in. I don't even be watching the game. They be like, yes. I be like,
He be like, what's the score? Okay.
I'm always,
What's he doing?
I've never enjoyed the game.
What's he doing? Oh, I'm putting this $10 on this cricket. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
bet anything. Hey, the game go off, they be like, lost my bet. I be like, hold on, turn the
wait a minute.
turn the ESPN 3.
Like, nigga, this is water polo for seals. Yeah. I got number
I got
7
the
right
grade.
there. You see him right
I
there?
got him. It's 2.5.
Hey,
just
man,
traded for
Hey,
I got a hutch.
Why the fuck I put a request for $40 and you send me $30?
Because that's what I had.
You put that in a note. No, just
I don't
talking.
write notes. You know,
No, you can't send it
and now
without
you
sending a
gotta write
note.
a
Yeah, you
note,
gotta
you know
write a
what I'm
note.
saying?
I be saying
Yeah.
for musty prostitutes. I put that in there
Jesus
for.
Christ,
I put that in for kid all the time. I be like musty prostitute.
Christ.
That nigga called me like, you got musty prostitute?
I just hit a period, you know, and going.
Nah,
What the fuck you want to know? Not you, but what the fuck you want to know? You know what I'm saying? Why this person
record keeping?
is moving? Nah, yeah, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right.
Sure.
So we have nothing that's off limits. I can joke about anything. Great, good to know. Y'all heard that, audience.
This nigga, like that's not what. All right, Melissa Ford.
Yeah.
Like, this nigga,
Whoosh. That's what I heard.
It's just like, oh well, since you
I'm
said
a dog walk,
hey,
y'all.
Dog walk.
I mean, slow walk the
Like,
dog.
like,
good.
who
Hey,
said
dog.
that, dog? What the fuck, dude? What's he talking about?
Yeah, that was fun. I always watch it. Other
She
people
was
get
mad.
fun. I just like watching men and women like not talk past each other, but I see what she's saying. It don't make sense. I see what he's saying.
But you ain't gonna say he don't make sense because it makes sense.
I was gonna say it don't make sense to her. I can see how it like because she don't want to see it, whatever. But
No,
anyway,
it's
we
just-
go whatever. What was you gonna start with? I'm sorry. You forgot what you was gonna start with.
That brought so weird, man. Just get out the way, you know. So, my man Jones is still out here on his hype tour. I guess I don't really know. Is it a rollout? What exactly?
I don't know.
But
I do not know what that nigga is on besides hitting podcast circuit.
since that shorty said what he said and it was thrown back at Jones, he's been on multiple podcasts. I mean, like
So,
2 or 3 a week.
So what he said kind of worked.
If that was the goal,
If he has a project coming,
Yeah,
or he's
that
got
was
any
the
kind of.
goal.
When I say project, I mean a show, a clothing line,
I'm sure they cook and play on music.
something.
Well, speaking of shows, so Jones performed at Summer Jam out in New York. And he went out there. I wish we had some video to show. But he went out there and it was crickets. It was crickets in the crowd. No energy.
But that ain't a good indicator.
No, okay, so watch this.
It was crickets for Redman and Method Man last year.
Got you. So watch this. Crickets, and they cut his mic off. Had to go to Funk Flex. You see him barking or whatever, and Flex like, nigga. I mean, hey, look at the crowd, motherfucker. What you know what I mean? Can you go too far in? He's trying to milk a cow in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's, as much as he was talking about Nas, nobody really talks about Jim Jones. I think this is the most jump press consistently.
Well,
That motherfuckers didn't said the name Jim Jones out their fucking mouth since like 2010.
No, I mean, well, if y'all remember, people forget that quickly. Him and Push,
Yeah, that was this year. That was earlier
which
this
that's Push's response is on this album.
Mm-hmm.
For those, that's for sure on this album. You had that little thing, and then yes, they do talk about him when he's on the reality show. They do talk about him with the shit that when Sierra ran up on him and they got video of that or talking about him not married. So no, he's talked
year. Got
about
some
now
viral moments.
for music.
Does it translate to music?
For music,
That's what I was saying.
every 3-4 years, yes.
He makes great albums.
But here's the thing,
Does he?
right? There's also this rumor out in New York, and niggas can't find he hasn't responded. Or I haven't seen him. Do y'all remember Axel Leon?
Who?
Axel Leon. He was a Harlem dude with a lisp. who he was on Funk Flex a couple times. Like he can spit, and he's on a couple Jim Jones records. There's a lot of rumors that Axel been writing a lot for Jim.
No. I don't know.
Jim,
right. I don't know him visually, but I've heard that this is dude's right.
Like he been writing for Jim. All right, so when everybody sits around and be like, "Damn, Jim got better,"
overnight.
Like, cause We Ballin', he's not really rapping on this We Ballin', but post that. The mixtapes he was on, he was dropping. It was like, damn, this nigga Jim is fucking
a lot better.
Yeah, this shit going crazy. It's because dude was writing this. Apparently,
do you guys think that? Because I mean, it's pretty widespread that folks call Jim Jones the oldest young nigga, right? Do you think that's only because he didn't get on like that until later in his career? Like, for instance, like we just said that he's a much better rhymer now, you know what I'm saying? If any of y'all heard some early Jim Jones, trust me, you will throw that shit out the window so fucking fast, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not nothing to listen to. But even at that point in time, we talking about a 30-year-old man, you know what I'm saying? So now that he's pushing 50, but better, you know what I'm saying? Is that the main component?
It's also because he looks 50. So like a nigga like Fab, and I say that too because I do like got to the grave. But a nigga like Fab, they both dress the same. Mm-hmm. Like Fab dressed like a young nigga, right? Fab doesn't put himself like out on
Fab
Front
got
Street
a beard.
as
got
much.
Gray all in it.
But he also doesn't put himself out on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He just doesn't, like, he do his shit. He got a little shit in Vegas. Mm-hmm. He do his Instagram post. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's about it. You don't see him on pot. Like, you don't see him, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just not on that shit, right? But that nigga is an old nigga in the same, you know what I'm saying, same manner. I think Jim does it a lot. To me, I mean, most niggas, when you see niggas doing like this, they got something coming. They're promoting this for money. They need the bread.
That's what I said.
Like,
what's the rollout?
This is a bread move, especially to like when you shoot so above your weight class to go at Nas. Like Pusha was, I get it. Like that, I can see it. I get the argument. I get the. Although I see it's crazy, but I can see beyond his arrogance. All right, you feel like you're in that lane of to fuck with him. Fine. I don't think you are, but if you feel like you are, it's reasonable. Nigga, Nas, like what it like nigga stop. Like what it like Nas? My nigga like for real? Like for real?
Nas responded.
You know how he responded? Did you see Nas' response?
Yeah, you know,
He wrote this for Jones 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
He's on the corners at night with young dudes. His dummy wanna be like. It's sad, but it's fun to him, right? He never grew up. 31 and can't give his youth up. He's in his second childhood.
You see the clips of that nigga like. I don't know, maybe it was 2008, I think it was, where he outside somewhere and he was like, Jim Jones, like, I don't even know how to start a verse to battle a nigga like Jim Jones. Like, I don't even know how to.
Say slap off his kufi, the kufi list. But he says this and that about Nas while I'm saying this and that. Nas is about to open a casino in Queens, man. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. It's like, okay, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. At the age that you are, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, wonderful. You still barking like you 20, 30 years old.
That's all he got. And I'm not caping or I'm not taking up for him, but it's the they've moved on in business and left the streets alone. And so
sounds like the proper progression, evolution. Okay.
But if you've been it's like being king, right? Like you could be 12th in line to be king, and if everybody get wiped out and you next, you might be a king of 1,000 people. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just the fact that I'm the title, and it's like he's looking around. I think he's looking at I'm the king of the streets. Like I'm the top dog in New York, and to most young people, it holds some weight. That is a thing.
But I don't
out
think
there.
it holds weight on the music.
Like, I can go anywhere
when them
in New
cats was
York.
talking about fashion
here's
and,
the-
and crazy hat or
I
whatever.
put in work in New York.
But
Like,
the
he's still
crazy-
talking like street niggas.
I
You
know
what I'm
that's
saying?
what it. But the craziest shit is the nigga's not even the top nigga from the group.
Right.
Even Cam. How Cam moved on to business. Everybody is.
Cam
When
just
he
gotta
step
say his
outside,
own deal.
nobody's outside.
But
That's what he
Cam-
keeps saying. I'm outside. I'm out.
That's not
It's
good,
not.
nigga.
It's not nothing to brag on.
Yeah.
But he's bragging on it. You know
And
what I'm saying?
Cam hasn't dropped the album, but every one of those freestyles he's done on that show, that nigga is snapped.
Indeed.
So but Cam is always. I knew
But Cam could always
Cam's-
rhyme.
He can always rhyme.
He
Although
can
he still has
always
some
spit.
of he does have some of the worst bars ever, but it's all
On-
right.
But on purpose. So watch
Yeah, I
this.
know,
Watch
yeah.
this. He has some of the worst bars ever. While with the group with the nigga with the worst bars ever. Do you understand? You get what I'm saying? Like
And Jewels fell off very quickly.
yeah, he did.
Soak the shocker like.
Yeah, he did.
He fell off
Yeah, he
very,
did.
very.
It be
The
that.
drugs got him for real.
I was gonna say it be that
No.
fame, boy. When that
No,
fame
it's
hits you
the-
fast, boy.
It was the
Bow, bow,
drug.
bow.
That nigga,
It's
he
a lot of distractions. In
Bow,
New
bow,
York.
bow, bow, bow.
he talked about how much lean that nigga was doing.
Never got into that shit.
Yeah, that nigga was leaning and
Lean?
he was leaning and pilling it up and yeah,
Pills?
and- oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he went
Come on,
crazy.
what?
That just seemed
Maybe
like
because I'm a 70s baby, you know what I'm
You're
saying?
from Chicago.
Where's
Like
the
if you was from Houston, you'd have tried it before.
But it's 'cause he
you know what I'm
was-
saying?
I
That's
see,
why. That's why I don't
the
see how New
demographic.
York is on it like
But
that
he
because
was-
it's like that ain't even y'all shit.
But he's a part of that. He's a part of that. He's of that age group with ASAP Rocky and them, where it was very heavily Houston influence. Lean, remember them and Lil Wayne and doing the mixtape that they,
yeah, him and Wayne. Right.
Can't feel
Go
my
home,
face
nigga.
Can't
mixtape.
feel my face.
That shit that is apparently like, and just that era of the shit, they were, you know what I'm saying?
Getting that shit.
Yeah,
Fucking lean.
I know a couple niggas, young niggas that.
Hey,
did that
hey,
shit,
Steve.
man.
Real drugs.
prescription. and shit.
Hey, wait.
Nah, nigga.
Why in the fuck would I want that? No,
Fucking promethazine.
I stick with the Jack and Bud.
When that
Fuck.
shit, I don't know, the UGK shit, when they was fucking lean, DJ Screw and all that
Yeah.
shit.
I had some Texas shit.
That's what I said. That's it. Just and so I never even when it did come up here, I was
You ever been to Texas?
I used to live in Texas.
Did you notice a lot of weird shit? I mean, like they do.
But it's
It's a different
originally
culture.
it's
Separate.
originally some white boy shit. It starts
Duh,
there.
it's
and-
real drugs.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We ain't got no brand to go get no real drugs and play around with it. Here, mix it with this great Kool-Aid and this Sprite. See what happens. What the? No,
Yeah, nah,
no.
when Pimp C died, I was just like, that shit is for the birds. I ain't like DJ Screw.
And then, but
I didn't know of him like that to be like,
didn't-
I'm
it
like that
didn't-
shit.
And around
should've
Pimp,
killed you.
there was a few of them around Pimp C, like of that era, like rappers who kind of was got on, or DJs from the era that was passing around the time Pimp C was when he passed.
My thing is, it didn't really stop nothing.
Yeah, it did.
It didn't.
grew
No,
on.
it didn't really stop anything.
But then you had Wayne kind of the double cup shit. That kind
took
of
off.
that took it to
That
a
took
whole.
off.
That took it to, especially because Wayne was way bigger
That
than
shit never attracted us
He
because we
made
don't
it-
drink out of styrofoam.
He
One.
made it.
Like, as soon as it be like double,
One.
why would you double cup
Why
styrofoam?
do you have a
Like,
styrofoam cup?
that's temporary till you get. You just bought it from the
What
gas
the
station,
hell?
right? Take it home
Yeah.
and put it in something. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you fucking doing? You got alcohol and styrofoam.
Wow. So they had no red cups
That just,
available
you
at
don't
all.
see
No
that in
solos?
Chicago. Like even liquor stores now don't even got styrofoam. cups.
Styrofoam give you this clear.
Yeah, it's like you
Clear
go,
plastic.
that shit
Yeah.
break before you get out the stove. As soon as you pour your shit in there, that shit leaking out the bottom.
Nah, that was
And then to have a big, tall, 32-ounce styrofoam. Like,
looking
get the
back
fuck
at
out
that.
of there.
That was ridiculously hazardous to the culture.
Yeah, nigga.
It was, and
You speaking past tense.
Yeah, niggas. I mean, it's still, but it's not. I know what he's saying. Like there was an era where it was insane.
It created a culture.
Yeah,
we saw the culture. It become a cult. Like we was
Yeah.
like, it was on the Friends, people doing it. Then it was like he said, it just grew to a point where it's like they made lean music.
you had
its own soundtrack.
You had Wayne, who a lot of these kids worshipped. Then come behind him, you got Thug, you got Future, you got you know what I'm saying?
They kept it going.
Yeah, where
Next
they took it
Generation
to
did it.
they took it to a different space.
Pluto.
But that also lets you know
they
that.
took it to Pluto.
Yeah.
But that also lets you know that
Dirty
that's what's
Sprite,
happening
my
on
nigga.
the streets out there already. You know what I'm saying? Like they just y'all smoking weed, we doing.
You know
it.
the first person who I heard who was like on that shit? Malik B from the Roots.
He died.
He died, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, but that was, I mean, back in the day. So when all right, so I used to go see the Roots early on, and when they would come here, he would never be on the road with him. And the reason was he was on house arrest and shit. And it
Right.
came to find out later on that the reason he was on house arrest because this nigga was on fucking lean and shit like that early on. Like, yeah. But like, and it wasn't even called lean then. It
Of
was,
course not.
it was just syrup.
Yeah.
That's what they would call
Scissor,
it. Yep.
sip
Sip
it on
it
some
on-
scissor.
But that was even before scissor was a phrase. It was.
Think of those parties. A scissor party. God, everybody fucking dope fiends.
It's a heroin party.
Everybody- everybody dope fiends now.
Everybody on lead. Hey.
Everybody on dope-
No,
dope,
but
yeah.
but think about how much. I don't think as artists or just as people we don't recognize the influence that we may have. You know what I'm saying? I can remember Wayne saying, you know what I mean, somebody told him, you know what I mean, what's in your cup? You know what I'm saying? He was like, don't worry about it. It's my cup. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding though that the kids that worship you now want a double styrofoam cup with purple liquid in it, you know what I'm saying, and walk around like zombies. That means you could have actually said something a lot more positive or progressive and saw some change that way. I don't think we put a lot of stock in what
But
we be saying.
Here's the thing, and this is how far back that type of energy goes, right? I watched the John Coltrane doc where he literally said the reason he did heroin is because Miles and Davis and them were doing it, and Miles talked about like how it made his music. So there's a whole generation of jazz artists who literally did heroin because
Off
they
Miles
thought that was the
Davis, 'cause
thing.
he was
They
the-
thought
he was
that
the
was
guy.
the
He's-
thing
yeah.
to do. And the funny thing is, Coltrane made his best album when he was sober. Right.
Indeed.
But
Imagine
just to
that.
hear him say that, like, and you know, Miles was his hero. He was in the band. It was that was the leader. Like, it was like, oh, this is
This how you do.
what
This how
we
you-
do.
you know
This
what I'm
this
saying?
will bring out the best art
Right.
in you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's how far back that mentality goes.
That's just, I mean, man, we need to do better. If
Yes.
we know we have influence, we need to
Yeah,
do better.
hindsight's 2020, nigga.
This nigga. Of course.
You old as hell,
Here
nigga.
he comes, you know what
I'm
I'm
just
saying?
saying, like,
The-
ain't no 21-year-old when they get invited to the party
the-
Friday, and that's
the-
the party favors in
the
there.
archangel of
I
chaos.
went to a coke party. Like, you
He was hanging out with Omar Cooper. And
gotta
shit.
have
My
fucking
God.
experiences.
That's what he was kicking it. He be kicking it with Omar Cooper.
Listen, you think Dame Dash need to get helped out by anybody that's put on because of him or living
How do I answer this?
anybody life he changed?
It would be nice, but he burned too many bridges.
Everyone.
You can't.
Every person life I changed.
It's
And
okay.
if that's the case, it's consistent.
Or
That's-
there's people
that's part of my character.
Or there's people
Like,
there's
yeah,
people
yeah,
whose
yeah.
life he's changed who aren't in much better positions than he is.
Chip in.
That's true.
There's
I
some
get
of those.
that.
There's
No,
some.
I know that
there's,
he.
Yeah, there's some of
I
those.
wouldn't.
too.
And when I was asking, I'm not saying that you could save one of his assets or buy. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you're talking
something.
about literally like one person, kind of, because nobody else is really doing that great.
Kanye, Jay-Z.
Well,
Well,
okay,
you're talking about that. You too. Well, Kanye, you gotta like. All right, really.
I think-
Kanye tied up with-
Having the expectation
up
of
with
Kanye,
Puff right now.
having the expectation of Ye to do that is like I
I
don't
think
know.
those are just the personal relationships that we know that are
Yeah.
public. You know
I'm
what
sure
I'm
it's
saying?
other people, yeah.
I'm sure it's others. So
Lee
that's what I'm saying.
Daniels.
To answer, if I had to answer that,
But again,
honestly, I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One hand wash the other. Yeah.
all right, okay. And you say that, can you just name someone who you think outside of Hov?
One of they mamas. Nigga, your mama doing good too. Nigga, like what the fuck? Like she ain't fuck up the money. Like she got a business. She got a car wash. She got that restaurant over there. Like she got
So,
married twice.
I don't-
Like nigga, I
know
seen it on
there's-
the gram.
Run me a little.
I have a question. What about
Co-sign something.
what about all the niggas in the hood he cool with?
They could. I'm sure he been running that into the ground, getting free coke.
That's, I think that's how he maintained
Let me
over
get
the
a
last
bird.
few years.
Let me get two
Because
birds.
here's the thing. This has
Gotta
been
give it to him.
this has been
Got
a
to.
this has been a situation. This has been a situation for him for the last like 8-9 years.
Yeah.
Right? It's just now a come to the head where it's now always here. I think niggas was floating him for a while on some shit, on some like, this next project is gonna be the one to get me here. Is gonna be and that never happened.
Yeah, I mean, he's an investment person, and that's what somebody else was saying. Like, even if you were the person, like if we were talking about Jay-Z, if we go to Jay-Z and say he is somebody that could bail him out and put him back in the black and put him at zero, but a nigga like Dame is a gambler. He gonna take that money and reinvest, and so it's like, you know him.
I don't want to do that.
He's already said, I'm the type that I don't keep no money. I put everything back into anything I'm doing.
That's not what I gave it to you
here's the
for.
thing.
So it's
Like,
hard to. Does that make it harder to help a person when they a hustler?
Do you remember a few years back when them niggas somewhat got cool?
No, I mean, I'm saying, answer that. Does that help or hurt? Helping somebody out, knowing that they're a hustler or a gambler, or not gambler, but
Kinda depends
they're
on-
an entrepreneur. They gonna bet on themselves.
Kind of depends on the person who is giving the bread, how they feel about what they're giving. Like if you,
He bet on you.
I'm saying if you
That's
if you
the
say
person.
this or that or whatever, it's almost like which is why I said this is kind of shaky because it's a man, grown man. You don't really want to ask nobody or expect anything from anybody per se. You know what I'm saying? In a sense,
That's why you can have a back of the thought expectation, not a real
Right.
expectation,
right?
but it's just
But like
a hope.
like
I
if-
would hope that.
if I came to my dad as a shorty, 14, 15 years old or whatever, it was like, hey, I need some bread. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna ask me for what. He's gonna, it's either I got it or I don't. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your John, you know what I mean? Depends on that person. If I know you a hustler or whatever, you know
But
what
like
I'm
he
saying?
said, it's been 8-9 years. You've been seeing this person you've been seeing this for a minute. And then that's what I was going to say too, is at some point, what does it, if you're a Jay-Z or whatever, like how far can Dame dash how far can Dame dash fall before it in some way, somehow affect the Jay-Z image or something where people are like, come on, nigga. Like if this nigga's Dame is
I have a question.
homeless with a long beard on the 409,
Who's to say I'm not? And I
I
don't.
think they passed that.
Yeah, they because I don't. If y'all remember,
I think it's growing now.
do you remember when Biggs got out? It was a point where there were photos of them niggas and they was around and it happened, and then it was like nothing else happened off of that, right? Like they didn't start hanging out with each other, but you saw Jay and Biggs still be around, at least do business together. They they was still in contact, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if at that period of time, like he did with homie, what was it, DeHaven or the other nigga who was like he gave him the bread.
Mhm.
I wonder at that point in time, and Dame is never gonna say it because to the public image to say now that Jay helped him, he does. It's saying that he's failed. So if publicly comes that if you're talking about a nigga like Dame, he's not gonna admit failure because a smart nigga at some point in time when you got grandkids, you change your mentality a little bit. Oh, I got to start putting bread away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, before you even when you start getting grown kids, like I need
Yeah.
to start. If you're that type of person, if you live in that, I'm gambling all the time. You can't really gamble as much as you used to. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna start like changing how you manipulate, especially when you reach the point where the income is not coming in? That's the other part. This isn't like this just popped up out the blue. This isn't like he got in a fucked up ass lawsuit because an accident happened on a set that he got sued and he's responsible and now he's in debt. Like this isn't this is
Well, answer.
So-
What does it help? Would you, if it was you, would it help or hurt that he's a hustler? That he's. If I could. You had the means to put him back straight, but you know he's gonna.
Yeah, it would hurt because before it got to this point, I would
do it though.
Before it got to this point, I would have tried to help him out. But at that point, and when I'm helping him out, I'm letting him know this is like we're not. Don't come back to me again for no shit.
I ain't come to you the first time, nigga.
See,
That's
you
what I'm saying.
and you know what I would have said.
Like,
you know, yeah.
whatever got us at this table.
And honestly, that was what I was about to say. For him to have made so much money, not just for him, but for other companies, other people, other entities. You know what I'm saying? What did he do to get blackballed in this fashion?
He just didn't. He did not. All right, so
I would call my bank if I'm not mean to cut you, but if I was Jay-Z, I would call my bank and set up something, but I would have him go to the bank and he would get a loan and I'll co-sign it. I don't got to talk to you. I don't got to do nothing. You just pull up to the bank. They're going to give you $10 million. You know what I'm saying? You don't even talk. You talking to the bank.
Right.
Like the banker will call you and be like, you have qualified for $10 million. Would you like it? Like, you don't even got to know it's me. And you walk in there and you be like, I'm really getting this? I don't got to put shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hov ain't doing that.
and now you look at your paperwork and see cosign of Sean Carter. Like, I would do something like that.
It's people will allow you to get away with
Or it's kids.
trouble or disrespectful behavior off of the energy of you're speaking out for whatever you believe in, right? As long as you're valuable, right?
Right.
But it comes to a certain point where in doing that, you're burning bridges in relationships.
Yeah.
And the rule number one of business, you need to have good relationships.
I know, but
I'm not saying, you're gonna eventually fail without that.
But if you've been getting money as long as they have, and in the time in their life when they were, their families were so intertwined in the sense of each other's kids as godparents to each other and all of that. So it's like your dad is a fucking asshole, but you're entering college now. You know what I'm saying? Like these are little people that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another thing that I think would make you want to help more, because it's like, you know how fucked up his dad is and how that shit is gonna fuck these kids up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't throw you the lifeline because you're not gonna fucking catch it. But that nigga don't have a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta help this
Steve,
shorty.
you have a point 8 years ago, bro. But not when you've already been at the point where
I wonder if Beyonce be like, you still not gonna
nigga, when he was coming,
you still not gonna
look, when he was coming at Lee Daniels, it was because he needed the fucking money to pay debts.
Yeah,
like that's
no,
so. If you're already at
but
that
I'm saying
point,
now that it's in the courts,
but at
like, you know what I'm saying, like now everything's public, it could be Googleable.
But at some point in
they
time,
can't lie about this shit.
At some point in time, the motherfucker who's making himself go broke and keep gambling and has to take some fucking responsibility. Like,
no,
you can't expect people to keep helping you out.
And that's why I
when
say
you've
Jay
been
should
an
help now.
asshole to so many people and ruin
I
relationships.
agree.
And then you keep gambling when you got up a little bit. You did get up a little bit. And then you kept gambling. And then when you kept gambling and losing, you didn't say to yourself, I need to change something. Maybe I need to go apologize to some people and change some relationships. Maybe I need to cultivate something different. Because the only reason Hov is in the place that he is why? Because he didn't ruin relationships and change some shit. That's the only reason you're going to keep making bread in business.
I think, and you're absolutely right with everything you said. I think that because of what you're saying, I think it's more reason for Jay to help now. And I say that because everything is public. I think because Jay, looking at him, knows that he can double talk. He can be, like you said, 8 years ago, running up on Lee Daniels because he really need the bread. But then when he get on these podcasts and he getting in front of his audience, he make it seem like he the bully or he the this. And Jay seeing the double talk, it's like, nigga, I know what broke look like. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. But you got an audience of more people that's broker than you, so they don't understand what that looks like. And so now that everything is public, I don't think that Dame can lie and say anything that he can't get in front of a camera and say X, Y, and Z, because all these reporters can go into a public record and say, well, you know, you actually still do owe X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Because he'd be like, man, I take all my money over here and do like, I never know how much money I got. And like he say all of these Donald Trump ass answers, but now when this shit is public, so now it's like that's why I'm like, well, Jay is like, all right, now Jay, you have to admit to something. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and as you come out of that hubris that you in, then maybe we can, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, how far will he let him fall before he help, if at all?
If the story about the catalog shit is true, about the fact that when he got in trouble before he was forced to fucking sell it as an asset type shit, that Jay did make an offer for it, and Dame said it was a low ball offer, right? So if that story is true, you think this nigga in that position? I'm gonna guarantee. You know what this nigga is gonna say?
That's why I went to the key.
I guess there wasn't such a low.
That nigga's dumb.
No, what I'm saying is the first thing out of Hov's mouth, every story you've heard about that nigga is gonna be, I guess that wasn't a low ball offer, huh? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about?
And I also think Dame is doing business from 2001. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how these numbers work. You know what I'm saying? You spitting these old numbers, and Jay is like, nigga, COVID happened, this happened, a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the market has moved like that, and he not in the market like that. You got one or two investments in there where Jay is like, nigga, I got people that watch the market for me and get reports. You know what I'm saying? I know what your shit doing.
It happens all the time in sports transactions. If everybody knows, like if an NBA player says, I want to leave this team, he has now made his market value less. Yeah. Because now every team knows that you have to get rid. No, because the teams know you have to get rid of this person, right? So I'm not going to make my best offer.
Right, I'm saying I have the leverage.
I'm going to lowball you every time. So if I know you're desperate, of course I'm gonna send a lower offer. Because I know you're desperate. This is remember, this is business. This ain't friendship.
Right.
And that's what you're talking about. Everything you're talking about is from a friendship standpoint. And I know their relationship to a point where Hov was trying to tell that nigga you're bad for business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's always said that's what I don't know if y'all saw Memphis Bleak when he was just on Breakfast Club. And he basically broke that exact thing down.
He did.
Like and he was explaining how he understood that and why he, he spoke on Beans too.
He did. No, I saw the whole. Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I enjoyed it. It was a good listen. You know what I'm saying? I've never really been. I like myth. I
like that Red CD, whatever the understanding. That shit was decent.
Yeah, that was
Bleak,
that was the first one. That was the only, and that's what I was about to say. I messed with Bleak early. You know what I'm saying? The first album with that Swiss single, mess with it, but I saw no growth. So like everybody else, if you were to
he explained that though too. I was kicking. I had bitches.
Yeah,
he was.
But that's go to what we was just saying earlier. I was like, it's a lot of distractions in New York. You know what I'm saying? Because he under that umbrella, motherfuckers like, what are you doing? Like, what are you? Oh, I'm over here getting money. You are bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got somebody that's always keeping you straight. Well, if you ain't got you the richest person in your family at 22.
Can you imagine what them tours was like?
Yeah, that's what he said.
He
was like
the young nigga.
His wife, he was like, I don't talk about that when my wife was watching.
I'm sure.
But
I'm
because
sure.
Charlamagne was like, remember when you said you fucked the
Hey,
whole
hey,
state?
Hey, whoa.
I fucked the whole state. He was like that.
Because imagine
you
like
said I did.
Imagine early on, because he the young nigga before state property, before all them, before all that, and that's
he was on
like,
Reasonable Doubt,
and that's legit.
And they all got something to do. I ain't got shit to do. And he got to go on TV.
Unlike Dame and Biggs, no, Hov really knew that nigga.
Right.
Like that's the difference. As far as when they first going on the road, like he looking out, like you know what I'm saying? Like
that's what he talked about in the interview. They asked him, of course, like where'd you stay? He was 3C and he was like D.
Popping 4B.
Yeah.
Me and my homie.
Yeah. All right. So they was on the next floor, whatever. But he got a new podcast. They was asking him what made you get into podcasting. They was big up and them telling him that's how he got to the backstage shit. Saying you got a lot of Rockefeller stories that nobody could tell, that only you could tell, blah, 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 blah. Who you think you're gonna have on? Who have you recorded already? Go down a little list. So everybody like, no Jay-Z? Like where he was like, man, I can't have a big homie on there. Like the way he talked to me, man, like he was like so he was like, and I don't think he don't want nobody to know how I talk to him. Like he was like, that'd be hard, man. So then the conversation go for like 20 minutes. Did he get the Tata? He was like, nah, that's the same thing like Big Homie. Man. They gonna always see me as the dirty nigga from 4C. Like, they never gonna see me as who I am. I'm doing big things. Like, you know how Biff's talking. He's like, man, I'm doing big things now. And they don't never see it, man. He's like, they'll never see it.
Hey, go get my mail.
He like, little dirty nigga got a podcast now. He was like, I don't want that. So it's basically, he gonna be sunning me the whole fucking hour. He's like, I can't sit through that.
And them niggas are sarcastic assholes too. So like that's not like
that's the best shit about they shit where they like sit around when they was letting you in the inside they shit when JB sitting around talking, the motherfuckers be just or Dame when they was all cool and they be talking and they be like, really? Yeah. Oh yeah. And people be going and they just be so and like everybody else get it, be laughing. They be like, really? And they be like, somebody tapping like, he don't care, man.
What's that movie when Dame ran in the car and he was like, that nigga ran in the thing. He was like, oh, for real? Oh, really? I think you should do something about it.
Right.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. The Death of the Dynasty.
Oh, man.
What else we got,
Speaking of Death of a Dynasty.
Where you going?
Diddy may get off, G.
No, he's not getting off.
I don't think he's gonna get off.
He may get off, G.
I think he's
when I say get off, I don't necessarily mean
he's not getting life.
No jail time. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying not as much.
How much you think? 10 years, 20 years?
No, I think he'd get 5.
That's time served.
Yep.
Hey, yep.
What you said about that?
Yeah, I mean,
5 years for what?
it's definitely plausible.
They took what, racketeering off the table? What they take off?
They didn't take.
They
And
take
here's the thing: they didn't take racketeering, and they didn't
What
take.
did they take off?
They took sex trafficking, but not all the sex trafficking. There was certain sex trafficking
Right.
charges they took off. So he still has sex trafficking charges. I forget what was it. The
Sex trafficking.
prostitution. Was it prostitution? It was some.
Taking all
I
that
can't
light
remember.
shit off.
Yeah, but what it was
the
is
answer right there.
everybody was harping on the sex trafficking one, and then a lawyer was like, "Well, it wasn't all the sex trafficking; some of the sex trafficking charges were, but he still has these sex trafficking charges on racketeering, though, because racketeering that's the RICO case, and conspiracy,
Kidnapping.
yeah, that's what-
Arson.
yeah.
Aiding, abetting. Sex trafficking.
The arson was
So
the Kid
what's
Cudi
left?
shit. He still has sex trafficking charges. He still has racketeering charges,
Racketeering.
and he still has, I think, some conspiracy charges.
I
That
think he's gonna beat that racketeering. I thought they would have took that off.
Well, you can actually prove the racketeering.
yeah, that's the one you can prove
You can prove that.
How?
with the
funds,
business manager of the funds. Yeah.
If it don't just say me,
But what
Sean
did I
Combs,
do?
if it
If
say
he
Sean
used-
Combs Enterprises,
If
or
he
What did that
Bad
racketeering-
Boy
if he
Records?
used business,
Yeah.
if he used his business,
Illegally?
anything
Illegal?
for anything involved in any of this, that's something that could be linked to sex trafficking. So if you use a company card to pay for something, to rent somebody a car, or
That's
to
racketeering. Using your business for illegal shit.
yes, that's what I said. You said you can get off on
No, I'm-
racketeering.
that's
Yeah,
what
but
I'm trying to-
yeah.
I'm asking.
But
I'm not
no,
looking
that's
it up.
yeah, but
I'm asking.
that's basically what it is. But
Mhm.
and that's why they had all the damn business manager and finances and accountants, and that's all for that.
follow the money, baby.
That is that's the
I don't
reason
know.
that all
The
those
fact he
people
going
came.
through a jury, I think he might be straight. If it was a judge,
Oh, y'all, it'll be fun.
If he was a judge, he be out of here. He be out. Well,
Nah, he would. He'll be fine.
you use your card, da 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 da. Like I think the jury would be like, everybody use their card.
What county is this in?
I got a
What
business.
federal court? Which federal court is this in, man? Nowadays, you
NYC,
gotta know.
baby.
You never know, man. You never know these days. man.
NYC, baby.
I don't know. It just seems crazy. Like the whole kidnapping. Nobody took that off the table because they couldn't get nobody to be like, I was there against my will. Everybody was like, nah, I didn't even really see him. I only dealt with her. Like it was hard to say kidnapping. They ain't prove their case on shit. And what y'all think about them not calling no witnesses, them not doing nothing, just.
They feel as though prosecution got a weak ass case.
I know
Yeah.
that. I'm asking you what y'all feel about that. I know how they feel.
It's a good chance you throw witnesses and this and that out there. It kind of sullies what you feel as though you have good ground at. It gives a rebuttal that maybe I don't feel as though needs to be put out there.
When you do something like
Can you
that,
imagine?
it's almost like representing yourself. It could be one of the greatest things in
Right.
the world, or it could go
Or
down
kill
one
the
of
whole
the
damn
dumbest
thing.
mistakes.
You
ever
imagine
seen.
sitting there writing notes to rebut all this shit for 6 weeks? Like, no, they lying right there. Hold on. Wait, what? Did I? They be like, no, we're not calling no witness. We're not doing shit. You like, throw all that shit. Like, it's just one of I wrote all these notes talking about all the points in which they lied and where to rebut they testimonies.
I wonder how differently people would feel about this case if it was broadcast.
Ooh, I know the judge.
Because it's different reading testimony than hearing testimony,
It'd have been more of a show. They would have been.
especially with the salacious nature of some of this testimony. Oh my God! Oh my
It
God!
would have been 3 months. It would have been a whole
Oh
summer.
my God!
It would have been longer than 6 weeks.
Yeah,
That
Goddamn
shit
show.
would
Yeah.
have
but
been
you gotta be if
crazy.
it's
4 or
tele-
5 days alone, they're gonna address the different camera doing shit and leaks and.
Do you think they recorded anything in there?
No,
Do you think cameras were allowed for any purpose to record anything in there to be?
No, I think somebody probably later in life gonna have something. Like I think
still
reporters.
motherfucker like
Yeah, I think reporters did that, and they taking it to their editors to write a story later, either side of the fence this on, and the editors, they gonna be like, I'm never gonna use that, and they gonna probably have it on their Facebook page or give it to they. It's gonna be, but I don't know. But most officers of the court are usually really scared of the court too.
Yeah, because the old school fucking drawings of that shit is. I mean, man, it took me back to my childhood.
That shit was
To watching the news and shit. When you any court case they talked about, that's all it
You always
was. My
had the
nigga,
image, you know what I'm
it was the
saying?
sketch
In
image,
crayon.
nigga. Like, yeah,
And
that's all it was.
Yeah, they hired the same one from my childhood too, because that motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it took it back to. It was like,
How
oh,
you
yeah,
get that job of sketch artist? Like, is that a failed artist? Like,
Is it a failed
like
artist?
you went to
I think
school for
that's-
art. You had to go to
But
school for
I
art.
think you know what I think it is. I think they intentionally have to sketch it. Like they can't do what you
No, I'm
normally
all
would
for
want
that.
them to do.
I'm saying the person that job is that.
Is he a failure? Is this the plan D?
Yeah, is he
You know
still?
what I'm
Is this like his second job? Because you ain't
So you-
working
so-
24/7,
No, I
right?
doubt-
You ain't 9 to 5.
But you an artist though. So if you're an artist, if you taking a 9 to 5 job, like you're obviously like you're not. It's not working out well for whatever art you're doing because art is very difficult to. You know what I'm saying?
It's
To
probably
keep
like
that
that shit
moving.
here where you get the shit with CPS. You get the little, what's the general contractor? You can work for any, you get to sell shit if you want to sell something to CPS, like sell
The
t-shirts.
vendor license?
Yeah, it's probably something like that.
Mm.
You just on call. Like, I know an artist. We need an artist. It's like,
Gas up the.
yeah, I'm a court artist. You should imagine getting that shit off in the bar.
No.
Motherfuckers
Like, you
sound
talking
like-
to a chick? Yeah, what you do? Yeah, I'm a court artist.
Nah, to be the motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
Check,
you're,
please.
So you're unemployed.
Do the stenography.
Unemployed, underemployed, looking to turn your career
But the
around.
funny thing is that's probably a pretty good paying job
Sure, let's find out.
because it's a government job.
Let's find out.
Yeah, you just work once a month. Like, they
Not
got-
necessarily.
They probably got to call it, unless you're in a small town. Because if you're in New York, all right, Chicago. They
But if
probably,
you in any
look,
major city,
downtown,
you're
they
good.
probably got 4 artists. And they probably got them
But
on
that's-
rotation.
But here's the thing: that's a federal case.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
just-
That's a you
you know, I
know.
wonder if you just work that courthouse or if you federal or state.
State,
Or if
you
you
get
I just
to-
work this building.
or you just a contractor.
Yeah. So you got to sign this.
You know what? I bet you it is. I bet you it's a large company that's contracted out to do everything. Yeah, everything federal, you got to go through this one contracting company.
Curious. Like, what's that?
How much you think
Securitas.
they make
uh,
annually?
I was about to say, okay, annually, 67,000.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I was gonna say 60.
60. Salary for a courtroom sketch artist varies, but the average annual salary in the U.S. is around $51,263. However, earnings can fluctuate significantly based on experience, location, and demand, with top earners making upwards of $72,000.
So that federal motherfucker is making
Average-
72.
For that horrible shit.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
federal
no,
motherfucker, man, that's the 72 motherfucker. Or
average-
or some county in LA or some some rich ass county. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
The
I bet
average
he able to
hourly
take pictures
wage
probably.
is
He's probably able
25.
to take pictures and then able to sketch.
And he's never leaking those pictures.
Yeah.
He's
That's
never
his whole
leaking. You're
job.
never leaking
That's
it.
his
Yeah,
whole-
and you're
They
going
gonna
to
know
jail.
the angle.
You're going to jail. You're not.
They gonna know where that picture came from. You don't want to sit over there in that corner, nigga. She came
Not
from,
for the-
It came from his back left ear. Like that was you, nigga. I can see the flag. Like, you
Yeah.
you right there by the
Right
flag.
there, look,
I see the bailiff's gun, and you behind the bailiff.
Ridiculous.
Nah, that's I guess 50. Whatever. Whatever. Escapee caught
Yeah, they called one.
in Holly Grove, New Orleans.
Oh, this is what I don't
At an
understand.
Airbnb. Wait, hold on.
dog.
At
I
an
don't
Airbnb.
understand.
Oh, y'all saw him talking to old girl when they was like, she don't want her camera. They talked to her with her face on camera, and she was like, I don't want her face on camera. They was like, lower the camera, and then they just lowered it and continued to think. Like, we just seen that.
Dude, you escape a maximum security prison to go back home. They're not gonna look at
Home
me.
is where the heart is.
They're not gonna look at me at home. What? What the fuck are you? What?
Maybe he went fur and came back.
Oh.
Fur.
Fur.
He went fur.
Dog.
Well, here's the thing. I understand going back home
No.
immediately. I understand why you would. I don't understand staying.
And see, you would get caught too.
No. I wouldn't go back home. No. Listen to what I'm saying. I wouldn't go back home. No. I'm never going back. I would not go back home at all. But what I'm saying
As soon
is,
as you step
I
foot in
understand
that
why a
door,
nigga would.
Well, as soon as you escape, they already flipping your career. But why don't people think about your mama? You gonna make your mama a accomplice?
Crib. Yeah, that's the other
She
part.
like,
Yes.
you gonna make her make that decision.
Yes.
When you get to the door, and she like, well, you gonna be like, they let me out. You ain't gonna let you in. Then the police show up.
Still in orange.
Yeah,
The cuffs, you still got the chain on, you know what I'm saying? Hey, mom.
and then flipped her house like she an accomplice. If she use her, they can't use her car. You can't do nothing.
So you don't go there.
And he was on social media. That's what I was telling you.
Again,
Yeah.
fucking
talking to Kevin.
idiots.
Like, how do he celebrated his birthday? He jumped in the pool.
What kind of
somewhere.
clown are you?
You know, it was people. I'm not even looking at him. I'm looking at the people around. And like when he jumped in the pool, it was two girls on the other side of the pool, and they was like leaned together. I'm like, they tricking. You know what I'm saying? This was weeks ago, so obviously they probably. But somebody said you can't stay nowhere longer than 5 minutes. Like if you do that, like as soon as you show up,
like
it's
you can,
What's the point?
Here's it, like
You at some point you be like, man, lock me back up.
you know. All right,
This
so
shit's getting tough.
the nigga,
Get the fuck up out of
the
there.
nigga that hasn't
Swim
been
to Cuba.
the nigga that hasn't been caught was caught on like security camera. I think like the first few days or whatever after they was gone. He has not been seen since.
Right, my man.
Well,
There's no like
My man.
there's nothing.
My man.
Like there's no footage.
He's watched.
There's no like camera. We got a lead. Social media post. Family ain't seen him. Nobody is seeing this nigga.
He watched the movies you were supposed to watch. It take heed, goddammit. He watched a lot of Incredible Hulk in the 80s. You know what I mean? Hey,
what's the
a lot of 18. You know what I'm
A
saying?
lot of Lou Ferrigno.
You know what I'm saying? No, you can't notice none of these people stayed in one spot long enough for nothing
Yeah, no.
at all. No, you got to keep it moving, Jack. You got to keep it moving. The law is after you. What? They ain't gonna stop just because you did.
No, they're not.
What? Dumb criminals.
Yeah, there was a story about it's like backstories on two of them. I don't know which one it was, but it's like the officer killed his mom and he's supposed to have killed them. It was rumored.
No, I thought like his grandmother testified.
Yeah.
His grandmother like testified in a case. Like she was a witness.
Yeah, to his it was like
It was that something like that. Yeah, and then
like
so
his family got
and that
killed.
happened like when he was a kid or something like that. And he basically grew up, became an adult, and was like, "I'm gonna get these
I want
motherfuckers." Yeah, and that's who he killed. That's
Sins
why
of the
people.
father.
That's like, all right, no, not to make this shit like the fucking Running Man, but niggas was really fucking
Like the
trying to put odds out there when this shit first came out. And I remember somebody saying like, "Nah, that nigga's not gonna be caught." Like they
Right,
gonna have to,
yeah.
or if they catch that nigga, they're gonna find that
They
nigga.
gotta go through the neighborhood.
Like
I mean,
he's gonna be someplace else. Like you gonna find that nigga in Montana somewhere and be like, damn, they ain't find this nigga in Montana.
Right.
Like that nigga, like he got the fuck up out of here. Like
Yes.
it's gonna be some shit like that. Like
Get the fuck out of here. That
meaning the person's argument was if that's all true, for a person to hold on to something, grow up and become an adult and do something like that is the type of person who is gonna be the fuck up out of here. Meaning that they're gonna think of like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I'm out
methodic
of
as
here.
hell.
This
Yeah.
is it right here. The family, the background of Groves, and what they say the motives of his murders was. Grove is the grandson of Kim Groves, who was murdered in a notorious 1994 hit for hire carried out by a corrupt New Orleans police officer, Lynn Davis. His aunt, Jasmine Groves, has publicly appealed for him, his surrender, stating blah, 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 blah. But that whole thing, and when he grew up on Mardi Gras, they dressed up and went and shot and killed that officer. So the neighborhood, that notorious, that 1994 shit was a big thing. You know what I'm saying, in New Orleans. So it's a lot of people, they saying in the neighborhood, that remember that shit and ain't giving him up.
I believe it.
So it's gonna be hard.
That's what I'm saying.
That part
like,
I believe, yeah.
But also again,
That's
a nigga,
gonna be tough.
a nigga that
that's
grows.
a story. That's you know what I'm saying.
That's
Niggas
like-
producers down
no,
there right
that's
now.
right
like,
now.
Netflix
And
is,
your name is
Netflix is trying to
Sit
get
right
that
here.
out as soon as they can, my nigga.
No,
like,
that's gonna be Hulu. Netflix take their time.
No,
What's
Netflix be on it. No,
Tubi?
Netflix be on it.
Yeah.
Hulu takes their
Them
time. No,
motherfuckers.
Tubi is
They
the
got
quickest.
Tubi. They got
Tubi
fucking-
is the
They got
quickest.
6 Diddy docs
Yeah,
already, and they
Tubi
don't
is the
even know the
quickest.
outcome. Like every time something drops, they don't even. It ain't part 3 or 4. They just be like new. They be like,
I just never understand that you do a crime, you get out, you go home.
This nigga's
I'm
a
not
hero.
even coming.
He's a hero.
I'm not even going.
This is different.
I'm not even going in Chatham. Okay, I'm not even
Where you
going.
going?
I'm away.
But you
Keep
don't
going
go nowhere.
So what do you mean?
As
People
you-
do that shit all the fucking time. How many times you done heard a motherfucker just
But
pack
you
that
own the
shit
news.
and just go? Oh,
And you got tattoos on your face.
That's a fucking
Like,
God.
you gotta go to Holly Grove where everybody got tattoos on their
I don't
face.
think the other nigga don't got tattoos.
No,
on
he
his
don't.
face.
He
got
good.
it on his
I'm
neck.
talking about the nigga that just got
Yeah,
tattoos.
he got tattoos on
Fuck.
his neck.
Yeah, he
You
lasted
are-
almost the
you are
longest.
so easy to recognize.
That light skin would tell you, your tattoos stand out. It ain't
What
even like
the
you got.
hell?
You should
But I
have got
don't
some
know.
more.
Nowadays,
You
in
should have just got some more.
certain neighborhoods nowadays, maybe not.
Yeah,
you might kind of blend in.
Yeah, I'd have been homeless in L.A.
I'm getting about it.
On Venice Beach. Like, fuck it.
I'm getting the fuck
They'd
about
have
it.
turned you in. You think that's
You
sweet.
took the bus and learned how to speak Spanish on your way out there?
Definitely.
Have to. Hey,
You would definitely.
all I got is time.
You would definitely damn
They
near
got apps for
pass.
that. There's apps
You would
for that.
definitely damn near pass.
Duolingo, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I just got to get the accent, the tone.
That's actually the first place I would have went, because the way, especially out in New Orleans, because New Orleans is so blood and crip.
Just that fucking tattoos on your face. You got to go where other people got tattoos.
That's why I
on
say
your face.
there.
East LA. Like, that's a stereotype.
Yeah, that was racist.
I didn't say it like I wanted to say it.
No,
Though.
you wrote that out.
I wanted to say it like
You said it though, but you said it.
I wanted
though.
to say it
You
like
said
I wanted to say it with the accent though. I wanted.
Wow, even worse, huh?
Yeah, I wanted. That's why I said I ain't saying how I wanted to say it. I wanted to put the Cheech and
He ain't trying to
Chong
shoot a
on
three.
there.
He was trying to shoot from the logo.
Yeah,
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Right, fuck that.
East LA.
There it is. Yeah, hey, you found it. Hey.
Yo, that nigga crossed
Was
the
it good
nigga
though?
at the
Was it
logo
good?
and stepped back.
I mean, the joke is only good if it's good. I mean, if it's bad, then it's not good. I mean, I guess that's obvious. Speaking of shooting from half court, NBA draft, Halliburton injury, finals.
Felt bad for Shorty.
Yeah, that shit was
I
fucked
knew
up.
exactly. I knew exactly
When it
what
happened,
like,
look, when he fell and he smacked his arm on the
We was
floor,
watching.
I was like, oh, I got up and was like, all right.
everybody.
All right.
It was still a game for a minute though.
It was. No, I watched
That
the
third quarter
first
killed me.
half. I watched the first half and I was like, I'm going to watch the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. If this don't start well, it's a wrap. And
The
it's
third quarter
exactly
killed
what
me.
it's a wrap.
They should have never went to halftime. They should have stayed out there.
Stayed out there, fuck it.
Hey, did you see what Obi Toppin said after the game?
he didn't do shit. So
He openly admitted, he was like, no, that shit fucked me up. I was in my head. That shit fucked me up. He said that. He was like, I just didn't. He was like, it was fucked up. He was like, I was thinking,
get the fuck out the game.
I understand.
Like, get the fuck out the way.
costing cats
understand.
bread
Yeah,
over
don't
there, man.
sit out there and just keep
God damn it.
punching, like, just-
You've never seen so many the irritation level in that in that room, knowing that Halliburton is gone now, right? So cats go immediately to their phones, you know what I'm saying? Let's re-rock this understanding, you know what I mean?
All
Let's
bets
rewrite.
are changed,
Hey,
yeah.
everything. Dude,
And you try to do it before they realize what happened, but
right.
everything's great.
Everything's great.
they like
'Cause they
stop
knew.
everything.
Nah.
Because they knew. They like,
Nah.
duh, you think we...
They do that shit on fucking instant
Yeah.
replay.
But I'm saying,
They
like
stupid.
you say, okay, Buddy, you don't win down. If they want to win the game, somebody got to step up. Toppin, what are you doing?
Yeah,
What
he
you
just...
doing?
At
All
least...
I want is 10 from you.
here's the
I
thing.
ain't looking
You
for.
I
I'm
give-
looking for Siakam. Siakam was supposed to go crazy.
What are you going to do, Siakam?
I give a nigga credit for openly admitted that though, because niggas don't say that shit and be like, oh,
That they
this
was
shit fucked.
shook
That
off
they
the
was
Henderson off
that
someone
shit
else's
fucked me
injury.
up, nigga. He said he admitted it,
But
but
to be commended, I guess.
but here's the thing: the person who would have kept shooting and he will shoot no problem is Mathurin.
Yeah.
He never found a bad
he
shot.
didn't stop.
He found
And McConnell
Yeah.
kept him in. Also, like, here's the other person that shocked me. Not that he's that great, but Miles Turner going into the contract year he's going into, I'm shocked he wasn't more aggressive.
Hold on.
But he's
We
just
speed-
is what he
speed-
is.
right, we speed through players. Back up to Halliburton. Speaking about him being commended, I do commend Toppin for admitting that, because I do feel like it's other players that felt that way.
Well,
Yeah, so he's
well,
probably speaking for more than just himself.
He
I would
may
give him that. Should Halliburton be commended for playing the game, knowing he could be that injury could happen?
I mean, not commended. It is what it is. They know what they're getting into.
If he,
I sat there and told you.
But if you're Halliburton and you know that's finna happen, or you know you got that injury, do you sit out game 7?
I think here's the thing.
I wouldn't play game 6.
Going forward, it's about to be
And then,
that.
but
And
you
then
don't know
play-
if you're gonna get to game 7.
Okay.
you got to play. They both are go home games,
And you know what? Now I don't play for a whole year.
and that's why I said should it be commended knowing that you
No.
knew that
No.
it wasn't a gamble. It was
still a gamble.
It's a
It's still
gamble.
a
But I'm
gamble.
saying he knew what the gamble. He
He
knew
knew it
what
was
the
a
consequences were.
he knew it was a possibility. Yes,
Yes.
probably yes.
And then
he wasn't thinking about that.
So he put his career to the side to win a game 7.
No, here's the thing.
That's not to be
no.
commended?
You want to know why, Steve?
No.
You want to know why?
I'm gonna sit out my career.
Steve, no, because if he doesn't play, he's getting killed the next day.
That's what I just told him. He said he wouldn't
So
play
no,
game
you
6.
don't deserve to be commended for
But he
something
said he
that
wouldn't
everyone
play
expects
so
you
you
to
play
do.
game 6.
You don't get commended for doing something
That's
everyone
game
expects
7.
you to do.
So before that, so do you play game 6 so you can play game 7? Not knowing, because game 6 is a.
You have to play game 6.
I'm not playing
You
games.
saying what I'm saying?
But you still don't get
When-
command. The expectation is still the same. If they come out, here's the thing: if the Pacers come out and say he's injured, he's tore his calf muscle, even if that's not true, there is zero argument if he should play.
So you saying it's on the trainers? They should have lied.
No.
Lied
What I'm
to him and told him your shit is tore.
No, what I'm saying is,
Like-
if the way it works, if it's any possibility that you can play, you're expected to play. That's what it is. And all these motherfuckers know, yeah, you supposed to go out there and play, fam. That's why it's so many niggas who don't make it, because they don't play through little niggle injuries, thinking the same shit you thinking. But no, it's not to be commended. If you gonna be at this level, it's expected for you to go out there. It's fucked up as it
And
is.
tear up your shit.
Yes, it's fucked up. I'm not saying it's cool, but the expectation in sports,
So
nigga,
with
you
that
play.
said, should the NBA shorten their season?
Oh, I've
What
been
that-
saying that for
What
years.
they got to do with him tearing his shit?
Because that's what I'm saying. You expect
No, it's
That
not
had
gonna
nothing to do with it.
the high rate of play and the many games that they play.
Nothing to do with it.
So why you tear shit?
It is wear and tear.
Dehydration.
Athlete. So that's on the
What the
trainers.
fuck that mean?
No, I
On the
will say
trainers.
there's
That's on the trainers.
no the overall wear and tear, because basketball, parts of basketball, running and
I put
jumping
on the
like
trainers
that,
because they had 3 people that had this injury.
running and jumping like that is not. The funny thing is, all of them wear 0. That is just one of those
Wow, yeah,
crazy,
good point.
amazing, like just stats.
On the same team?
No. Just Lillard, Tatum, and Halliburton. All jersey numbers are
From-
0. They all tore their shit this
That's how that
playoffs.
new nigga that just got drafted, last name Fear, and his number 0?
I learned that
Fear 0.
that's a cousin of mine from out west.
Jeremiah Fears.
His parents moved down to Joliet like 20 some odd years ago. I've never met the shorty, but auntie hit the family and was like, you know it? And I'm like, who?
Mm-hmm.
See, Kevin's Durant injury didn't do it, but these 3 will do it. So I guarantee you going forward that players, but here's the fucked up shit, right? This is the fucked up shit for a player at a certain level, right? If you sit out so many games, you're unavailable for certain awards.
Yeah.
If you don't make certain awards, you don't get a supermax.
Correct.
So therefore, it's in your benefit
Shout out to
to
Jaren
go
Jackson
out there
Jr.
and attempt to play through injury to try to attempt, because if you don't make an all-NBA team or MVP, it's easiest for a motherfucker to make an all-NBA team than it is to win MVP, right? So, or defensive player, or any of the individual awards. You don't make those, you don't get a supermax. So niggas is gonna go out and it's a minimum game requirement that you have to play. So if you somewhat injured, you
So
gonna
what's
go
the
out there and
reason
play.
for all these injuries?
It's a plethora
It's a
of
bunch of-
reasons.
it's a bunch
It's
of
not,
reasons.
it's not just one thing.
It's not just one. Like
That's why I
Draymond,
just said dehydration. That on top of wear and tear, low cut shoes, not enough support. You know what I'm saying?
So if the NBA could fix one of these many issues, which one would they fix? Because I would assume that they need to address.
there's
or
nothing
try
that
to look at.
the only one they can possibly fix would be shorten the season, and they're not finna do that until that's why, again, I tell niggas when it first came out, this fucking
They got to
in-season,
play in the end game.
the in-season,
tournament.
they're trying to make the in-season tournament a separate thing. And again, eventually they're going to get to a point where regular season is here, the in-season tournament is over here, and these in-season tournament games won't count for regular season games, right?
But that's gonna be the whole NBA or
no,
special players?
all NBA. It's
All
going to be
NBA.
the whole NBA.
Like
but
soccer.
the problem is
They
the
got to play him.
yeah, no, but you can play. There's gonna be, but the thing is if the union is good, you want to expand the rosters. So therefore, your superstars, if your so-so
Sit
team
and
can
chill.
sit. But because the thing is, the reason it hasn't happened yet is because the owners don't want to give up the home gate for
Makes
those
sense.
games, because everything is
If I'm
budgeted.
Reinsdorf, I
every-
would fuck no.
But it's also the league.
Don't see a
Understand
problem, yeah.
everything is
Yeah,
budgeted.
they gotta
Everything
figure
is
that out.
budgeted off of 41 games.
No, I
It's
feel
even the league. How they budget
that
out the
ain't
money
enough.
for the
Yeah, I
team is
feel
40. It's based off of
Yeah,
41 games.
yeah.
So
especially when you're looking at all these.
when you
other-
gotta cut that money different, and now you're looking at 30, 35, it's a little bit different, bro. It's a little bit this. But here's the thing: they already starting it
I
with
get
them playing overseas, because like the NFL, because their TV package is so great. The teams weren't really as mad. That's why the Jags played so many fucking games over there, especially home games, because they was like,
Khan got a
fuck it.
relationship with the motherfuckers.
well, yeah,
over
he
there,
owns
though.
he owns a
Why they
soccer
let him on
team.
the team?
He owns a
Hey.
soccer team over
Yeah,
England.
see, it all makes
So
sense.
yeah, so I mean,
football, you say?
but that's why they wasn't tripping, because they like, well, people don't come here anyway, so ain't nobody coming. We suck, so we'll go over there and play. Like,
Back to the Halliburton thing. Do you think we were robbed of Game 7 because of his injury?
yes, I think we were in for an epic game
That,
7.
yeah.
All right,
The
you
man
wanna-
had 9 to 7
He,
minutes.
hey, look,
Goddamn.
no. I got an even better.
That was going crazy.
I got an even
I
better.
didn't even bet on him.
I got even
shit.
better
Whoa,
stat
do
for
you
you.
know He went down, right? He only played 7 minutes, right? He went down and still led the team in threes.
No, both teams.
Both teams in threes.
He hit the most threes in the game.
Three.
That's crazy. You play
Here's the
7
thing.
minutes and still own the stat. Like I still
in this
still
day and age
kills
of the
niggas.
NBA, where niggas
threes.
they
Yeah,
chuck threes like crazy, he made the most threes. That's why, if you can answer that question, absolutely. I think we was in for one of those, like, man, I remember when fucking OKC and Indiana played one of the greatest fucking final games I've ever seen in my life.
20 years from now, like
Also,
I was there.
you got to look at it too, how it went. It also sours, like, although it is what it is. It'll come back. That Siakam dunk, right?
Yeah.
Even if Indiana loses, the injury kind of sours part of it. Like, even if we get the series, and even if Shea hits a shot and whatever, or OKC wins, because Halliburton got hurt in the way it is, it kind of just like it somewhat sours everything about Indiana a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit.
But no, the internet is the kids. Guarantee you, early next season they're gonna bring that back up. First time Jalen Williams has a bad game, they're gonna bring that back.
Yeah, you just named, you know what I'm saying, cats who done tore they shit. You know what I'm saying? Just so happen a lot of them just were 0. But you know what? A lot of them play in the East. What is the East gonna look like?
And they all did have calf strains too. But although Dame,
No, because I wanted,
here's the thing.
dog, you goddamn
The
right.
only-
You're fucking right.
Sounds like it is an underlying
keep
thing.
But
saying
here's the
it.
It is one
Keep saying
underlying
it.
thing.
the only thing with Dame's slight difference is he had them blood clots. So no. What I'm saying, he had other, you know,
Should he
what I'm
be
other things
commended for
going on.
playing? Because I wouldn't have fucking played.
I
Well,
told
yeah,
you.
remember
I told
he
you.
came back
I told you when
after
it
going
fucking
on blood
happened.
thinners.
Said calf strain. Nope. Don't play. You're gonna tear your Achilles.
That's what's about.
How
to
do I
happen.
know? Because I know.
But sitting out,
But it's
sitting
about
out
to
is not an
happen.
option.
No, it will
It
be now.
is. What?
It
a
will be now.
calf strain. I can't, nigga. That's real. That's a couple of degrees away from a tear. Something's about to pop.
It will be. It's just like for example, technically, you can play basketball
So you
with
doing that, but that happened.
if you have depending on the break in your non-shooting wrist, you can play.
You can play.
But niggas don't really be going out there playing with a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you technically can play. Same shit. It's finna be treated in the sense of, depending on the degree of the calf strain and all this, it's gonna be treated differently. I guarantee you, most teams are gonna treat that shit totally, especially to
I said it.
especially
I said
to
this is the KD. This is KD happening all over again.
especially to the star players.
Well,
Y'all didn't want to
since we
listen.
in what else land?
I didn't either because I put my money on that shit.
It's because
Fucking
it's a 9-month injury, and
The
I
rehab
mean
on
people are
top
better.
of it.
No,
Like
how long it is.
when it
That
happened,
ain't-
when it happened to Neek back in the day, Dominique
Mm-hmm.
Wilkins, it basically used to be one of those
That
your
was it.
career's
Career
done. And if you came back, you weren't really the same.
Say you should've
You're
went
not. You can't jump.
Kobe wasn't the same.
You can't jump.
KD
If
really wasn't the same. But
Indiana would have won, who you'd have gave MVP to? If they'd have won without Halliburton.
without Halliburton,
You asked him because you already know what my answer is.
If they would have won without.
whoever had the best game in Game 7 between
From the game you saw, if that game was the game that you saw, Halliburton was hurt. Siakam, McConnell, Mathurin. The game that they gave you,
it'd have been.
which of those three would you have?
I would give it to Siakam, but they'd have gave it to McConnell.
You should have given it to McConnell. What
No,
the
you want to know
He
why?
scored, what, 10 straight points?
But you-
11?
12.
You want to know why? Because in Game 3, McConnell did have Game 6. He had scored 12 points.
McConnell
So
has he has
listen
the
to what
best
I'm.
bench
I-
numbers to ever
I
play in the
understand.
finals.
LA
You're
Fitness
not
finals.
going to give. What did Siakam have in Game 6? And what did Siakam have? Because understand, if Indiana wins that series without Halliburton, you're going to see that fucking Siakam dunk for the rest of the summer. Meaning that he's going to get the fucking MVP because he didn't have a bad series.
That same, that
'Cause
same
it's for the
demo.
se-
That
wait,
same
he didn't
demo,
play above-
McConnell
played
gave
above
12.
average.
It's for the.
Siakam
It's not because of that.
didn't.
It's for the series, and they're not going to give it to.
I'm saying the whole
For the
series.
series.
I know, but for the
Siakam
series,
didn't play above average the whole series.
Siakam
McConnell
had-
played above average the whole series.
no, he didn't. Not in every game.
Yeah,
No,
Every
he
game.
didn't.
I'm saying the average of the series. Yes, he did.
Ma,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
what I'm
literally
saying
put
is-
out hard
Yeah.
on
No,
coin on
we
these
looked this up
things.
already,
You know
bro.
what I'm
I'm gonna go back
saying?
to it.
I know, but what I'm trying to tell you, they're not going to look at it because somebody played above average. They're going to look at it. Siakam averaged more points per game in the series. They're going to look at that. They're going to look at he had damn near a 40 game. They're going to look at that. They're not going to look at so the great game TJ McConnell had. He had 12 total points.
So
I'm saying I understand what you're
Let
saying.
him respond. Let him respond.
Look, I said
Okay.
they would give it to McConnell.
right on.
Let him
And you
respond. So I
gave
understand.
those reasons why. I could have swore that Steph, Clay, even Draymond had more
But that's
all
not
around
why did
numbers
Iguodala get
than
it.
Iguodala.
But why did Iguodala get it?
Was the MVP.
But why did he get it?
No, look.
But why
For
did
the
he
same-
get it?
for the same-
No, he
Excuse
got
me,
it for
You
defense.
asked me for the same
Defense.
He got-
McConnell didn't get do shit on defense. So
He-
stop.
you-
It's not the same.
Can
It's
I
apples
finish?
and oranges.
Can I
Yeah,
finish?
it's
You ain't gonna let me
apples
finish?
and oranges.
You gonna let me finish?
All right.
He got it. Iguodala got it because of what he excelled in.
Okay, whatever.
Without
that's
this,
not the
without
same
this,
thing.
without this, you don't get this. Without
Not
TJ
the
McConnell,
same thing.
you don't get this.
And without Siakam, you're not getting none of it. That's what they would say. I'm telling
without
you.
Steph Curry, you're not getting none
No,
of it.
here's the thing.
Without Klay Thompson,
No,
you're not getting none of
but
it.
here's the difference. Iguodala had defensive plays, right? And to me, it made no sense where you gave the MVP for a nigga playing defense on a nigga who averaged a triple-double in the series. It still makes no sense. So he slowed down LeBron James.
So
That's what they gave it to him for.
So again, McConnell probably was the favorite.
No, I don't.
That's not what you said. What the fuck?
Listen to what I said. I said they probably would have gave it to him. I would have given it to Siakam.
Just
That's
because
what
of
I'm
a
saying.
dunk.
No.
Yeah.
No, he averaged more points in the series, had bigger games. He had a fucking. All right, stop. Because
No.
if he don't have that 40-point game, it's not even a conversation. I
Okay.
know McConnell had 2 good games. He did not have a great game 1. He
Gotcha.
did not have a great game 2. He did not have a great game 3. What are we talking about?
Okay.
Siakam had good games in those games. Yes, did he not?
What was Siakam's game 6 and game 7 numbers? I know they were
Game 6 he bought.
I know. Like
No,
game
game
7,
game 6 he went
it was
nuts.
just
Because game
just-
6 is when the game
yeah.
when his eyes rolled back and all that shit, and he had like 30-something.
yeah. He had
That's what I'm saying. And he had,
Yeah.
that was.
30.
That was
Did you hear his
fucking
explanation?
crazy. No.
People tell me all the time, I be trying to close my eyes, but they say that it happens. That's what he's. That was his.
no
That
sense.
was his explanation.
That don't make a bit of
That was
lick
his
of sense.
explanation.
Dude,
Okay.
I guess I let you have that. one.
Y'all out here cheering for the white boy. Don't want to support the African brother, man.
NBA draft. Who we getting the draft?
I see y'all, man.
Wow.
A man from France named Noah.
A man from France named No. He ain't a boy. It's a draft. They're supposed to get kids. He said
If you're
man.
20 years old, that's a boy. I mean, you gonna call them boys? Like,
These kids out here balling.
I don't know what the Bulls are doing.
no. And here's the thing. You know what the funny?
Did you
the
watch
worst-
it or you
no.
read it?
You know
No,
what the
I
worst
You
part
watched
is?
it with expectation?
I watched.
You know-
Okay.
Story time.
I watched it with the sense of who I figured they were not going to take.
Who is that?
What was I
Queen.
pick?
I don't understand why.
What was I pick? And then we get some picks
11,
from.
the 11
11.
pick. It was either 11 or 12.
We got some
but
picks from Oklahoma.
But that's the
didn't we?
only. That's
Nah.
the only pick that
That's
matters
next
is
year.
that first pick. That first pick
Yeah.
in the first. And then outside of that, unless
Who-
you.
What pick did we have in the first round?
12.
11
Was
or
it
12.
11, 12?
Like that, yeah.
And
And
what position we get?
we got a clone of Buzelis.
They love that nigga. That's
He's a
style.
foreigner. They love
But it's the same player.
We keep grasping foreign small forward wings.
It's literally the same player.
Like that's what we do. That's the bull.
Who's zealous and what's the?
You need a center,
He
and
be
you
balling,
draft the
though.
same dude. You draft the same dude.
I knew they weren't gonna take Queen, but that has more to do with the Bulls organization just being like, I don't know what y'all doing. Because at that spot, there's no reason. When Queen fell, I think Joe Dumars damn near took a shot at the
Yeah.
press conference saying like, when we were here,
Shit.
I didn't, because he's now the GM of the Pelicans. And he was like, I was kind of shocked Derek was still there for us to take. We thought we were going to have to trade up because we really liked him. We thought he fit well with him and Zion. We think that could be something.
Okay.
Whatever you think, like, but
So he got who you thought we should have got.
yeah, they should have took Derek Queen. He was the best player available.
Fucking idiot.
If when you're a bad team, you need everything. Nigga, take the best player available. The best player available was Derek Queen. He's young. You know what Derek Queen said? He said, they talking about all these people that got drafted in front of me. I used to kill these niggas in high school.
What did the Bulls,
Like, dog, like
what did the
that,
Bulls
that's a
say why
nigga
they
you
didn't take him?
need. Huh?
What did the Bulls
not.
say? Did the Bulls say why they
I
didn't
don't
take him?
know. Who knows?
Nobody
I don't
asked?
even know if they did a press conference. He's a
I haven't
foreigner.
heard one.
They haven't done it because I don't even think he's overseas playing.
Derek Queen and foreigner?
No,
No,
who
who
they
they
drafted.
I'm saying they didn't.
But you only do the press conference if
for
the
who you draft.
yeah.
Right,
well,
right,
if the and if the player, you know what I'm saying,
notable. Yeah.
And
then-
I don't even know, are they under sale or they sell? I don't even know.
What's
what
the
happened
Ace
to it with that
Bailey
shit.
shit that everybody's been talking about? That's
Ace
the kid
Bailey
that's-
was drafted 4th by Utah.
That's the kid that said "fuck" when he got drafted.
No,
No,
that was
dude from
Boyles, Murray, or something like that.
Yeah, hey, that was funny as.
Yeah, when he went to Toronto,
Yeah.
which then they fired their GM the day after the draft. Which is very
Some more idiot ass picks. No. Real idiot type shit. Again, you draft the same player you already have.
yeah. Okay.
You literally
Maybe
already
they know
have
that. Maybe
this
they
guy.
know they out the doors. They know
No.
something. Or they price going up.
He a nigga. But here's the thing: all the good jobs are gone. Though that's what's fucked up. Because if you need a GM, you did it before the draft. You didn't wait till after the draft to not hire a GM.
No, the NBA is on some real
Yeah, they
out of bounds
But
shit.
the-
Look at the Knicks. Knicks still ain't got a coach.
I know. I was
How
gonna
the
say,
fuck you fire a
with
coach and you
Don-
ain't got one ready?
I wanted to go there, but what happened with Ace Bailey?
All right, Ace Bailey. This is what happened. So Ace Bailey didn't work out for any team, and then apparently he told. I think the
He
team.
that cold?
No, he's really good.
He's talented.
He's really.
That's it, like-
He's the best. He's the
you
outside
know
of
me, he
Cooper,
ain't worth a headache. but-
yeah, he's not right. But outside of Cooper Flag, he's probably the best pure scorer. He hoop like a nigga from Chicago that can just get buckets.
I watched Cooper Flag in the
Like,
finals,
you
and
know, does that make sense? Like, you
I
go to the
like-
park and see
I
a
like
nigga that like, oh, that nigga he can just get buckets. That's
I
what he
watched
can
Cooper
do.
Flag in the tournament, and I wasn't impressed.
He's good.
Nah,
You'll see
he's
it.
very-
You'll
I
see
heard,
it.
I mean, I heard,
You'll
but
see
I
it.
just-
Nah, he's
You're
very-
gonna because
All right,
here's
but
the
that
thing.
might be the bright lights.
You'll see it. No, you'll see it early on because Kyrie, they'll have no Kyrie. So you're gonna see real quick
He's very
whether
good.
or not he's good or not.
Damn, they got the #1 pick for the men and the women. Because they got paid Buckner.
Buckers? Oh yeah.
Dallas got
Yeah,
paid.
Dallas,
Dallas
Somebody
got,
pay some money, man.
But different WNBA is just you're the worst team.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
don't matter. I'm just saying. I'm
Hey.
just going on my bet. Like I'm like,
You should have bet that.
I'm like, all right.
All right, so
Duly
Ace Bailey,
noted.
he
Ace
said he basically said that he didn't want to work out for some teams. He told some teams not to draft him, or his agent did behind the scenes and all that, and then was upset going to Utah. So apparently he wanted to go to Washington. That's what he was trying to get to. Why? I don't know. Whatever it is. Now,
I know.
here's the problem.
That I do know.
All right, so here's the real what happened with all that behind the scenes that had motherfuckers, especially the internet, going crazy. His agent is Sharif Cooper's father. Sharif Cooper is no longer in the NBA. Not because Sharif Cooper
Why?
can't play.
right.
It's because
Why?
of fucked up shit that his dad did behind the scenes. Is
What'd he
the
do?
reason.
You don't know?
He's a
Yeah.
shiesty
Yeah,
individual.
it's just a
Like
yeah.
what?
Business dealings.
Yeah.
What they got? How they get you kicked out of the NBA?
Well, no. Here's the thing.
You get
You're-
blackballed.
You're a second round pick. You're not on a guaranteed
LeVar Ball-
You're not
contract.
a guaranteed
We don't
contract.
need
I
you-
just don't have to
it's not.
sign.
No. LeVar Ball was an entirely different thing than you're around.
No.
Legit.
No,
So
no.
the story
These are
goes.
two different
Convicted?
things.
No,
Or alleged shiesty?
no,
I say he
illegal.
was a shiesty business.
No,
owner.
just on some illegal shit. Connect. So
alleged or
your business ties are tied to illegal people who are involved in illegal activities. So when they Google you and
We
look
don't like
you
your
up,
kind here.
when they look you up, you have ties to legit. Like, oh, what's the question about? Why is this person connected to you? Why is this person connected to you? They do that type of shit,
All
right? So they're vetting the
That-
organization that they're getting in business
So
with.
what they got to do with Ace Bailey?
That's
That's
his
his
agent.
So what they got to do with the Ace? What was that was the Ace Bailey. That was the thing this week.
Well, that's the part of the problem with the dealing with.
Why they
so
was
all
talking about
this-
Ace Bailey this week because his agent is
No,
Cooper.
They
because
didn't know
all
that
these.
until
So here's the thing.
they put
Until
that out
what?
there
The
until,
draft?
Until later, yeah. Here's the thing. Nobody knew why.
until he was drafted.
Yeah, nobody knew why Ace Bailey wasn't working out. When people found out who his agent was, it was like, oh, we get it. So here's the thing. We don't know if he was telling him not to work out or if NBA teams didn't want to fuck with him. Because that could also, we don't know, but the story goes that he didn't want to
They
work
put it
out
on
with
him,
teams. And to fuck this agent, because agents run in a thing where we want to get rid of this
Sharif
motherfucker
Cooper
too.
is Ish people. Right?
Yes, that's Ish nephew.
He was on the management team for
Yeah.
They be,
Yeah, there was a picture. Yeah, that picture got posted with them sitting around. And
yeah, they got
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was working for
Yeah.
So that was, I was thinking too that shit was in Washington and all that shit too. So you want to be at home. You know what I mean? So that makes sense.
Yeah. And then the other thing that happened, his teammate, because him and Ron Harper's son played at Rutgers together,
Rutgers.
and they didn't even make the tournament, which they were the second and
Shit was
fifth pick in the
ridiculous.
draft, which doesn't make sense when people question how good either of them are, but that, whatever. But Dylan Harper is really, really good.
That agent nigga is probably kind of dope. He sounds pretty dope.
People were,
What's his name? We never probably need to get him
well, no,
a shout out.
Dylan Harper, no. Dylan Harper ain't fucking with that agent. No.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, what-
Dylan Harper, the people that people were looking at and found crazy that Dylan Harper did not acknowledge his father when he got drafted.
Nah, he didn't.
So when you get drafted, you sitting around the table and it's all your family, your friends, and this, that, and the third, all that. Yeah, really just did not acknowledge Ron at all. He was asked a question about Ron, and then he was like, "No, I'm better than him in everything." Was his answer about Ron Harper? And then it was like, "What the hell's going on with this shit?" Oh, I found that's the most interesting shit. His mom has been his high school coach or assistant coach
Have
for
you
the
seen
last
his
few
mom?
years. Yeah, his
Do
mom.
you have is it? She up there with other
With buddy the
The
NFL.
Then we sound like creeps.
Hey.
Never mind.
But she's like a she's
Speaking
like
of female coaches, Don Staley is get us out of there.
interviewing with the Knicks,
Yeah.
or has been in talks with the Knicks.
Yeah, Knicks don't have a head coach.
For Don Staley, I hope she doesn't do that.
Mike, well, who's what's the LeBron old coach? Mike
Woodson.
Brown,
Brown.
Michael Woodson, my nigga.
Yeah.
You think the Knicks gonna bring back Mike? You remember how that ended?
Yeah,
Mike Woodson
I
was
do.
there. No, they're not
Yeah.
bringing.
No,
You
Mike
think they
Brown.
ain't bringing back? If they bring back Mike Woodson, then Isaiah Thomas can come back, like nigga,
Oh yeah, that's dead.
or Phil Jackson to come back.
Who do you think gonna be the next coach out of them three?
The
I think it's-
field.
Mike Brown, Don Staley, and who was the?
I think it's gonna be Taylor Jenkins, who was the dude
Taylor
fired from Memphis. I think it's either gonna be him or Brown.
Those are choices.
Currently,
that's
yeah,
what I seen. That
Nobody else is.
Nobody
yeah.
else even want to talk to them niggas.
Yeah, no.
Which
Well,
again
or
scratches my head.
It's not even that.
How the
no,
fuck
it's
or
not
why
that.
the fuck?
Teams aren't giving them permission. It's not
Yeah.
even that.
I mean,
and
however, I'm saying this is who they can talk to.
yeah,
This
most
is-
motherfuckers
right.
ain't gonna
This is
really.
this is their option.
Jason Kidd, I think if Dallas
Yeah, I
don't,
thought they got fired with Jason
but if
Kidd. What
Dallas,
happened?
but if Dallas
Dallas
don't,
said you can't talk
they got
to
the
him.
number one pick. Why would you want to leave now? If
He
no,
like,
I'm not
give me a
leaving.
minute.
Yeah, if they didn't get
Sign
that,
him for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's it.
if they didn't get that number one pick, and you got Kyrie being hurt and AD, you never know. I think Jason Kidd is probably in the office like, hey, so imagine if Ace Bailey might be coming in. Like, nah, so check this out. I'm gonna can I get that interview? And
Where is Ace Bailey going?
he's in
Utah.
Utah,
Oh, okay.
which people were questioning if that nigga was gonna show up. The
He
other
finally
nigga,
did.
no bullshit. The other nigga,
Mormon puss.
the other nigga that they drafted is gonna be good.
Yeah.
The nigga from
Yeah,
Florida,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
good.
he's
I don't know
good.
why he went so low. I
He's
get
good.
it. NBA draft is super off potential, but that I don't know what motherfuckers was
Shorty
watching
was
in
getting
Florida. He
bread
can get
in the
buckets.
tournament.
He gets
remember
tough
Shorty from
buckets
Florida?
the point guard.
Point guard.
Yeah,
He ain't
Hey,
drafted?
yes,
yeah,
but
by
like
Utah.
20 something in Utah. It was like, it was in the 20s.
Hey,
That nigga
He
got an
gets
on and off
buckets.
switch.
Yeah,
That
no,
nigga was like, we down what?
bet.
Put my cape on real quick. I'm not wearing this long.
Yeah,
That nigga
and-
would just go crazy.
the white boys that got
remind
up
me
there
of
in
the guard
Utah
from
ain't
Denver.
bad either.
Mm-hmm.
Murray.
Nori.
Yeah, you remember me, Murray. I ain't got shit else, man. But that motherfucker, that motherfucker did have a good ass shot in the tournament. But I ain't seen no Cooper Flag. I ain't like that.
No, he's
I
good.
lost every
You know
bet,
what? You know
every
what
bet
made
I had on that nigga.
you know what made me see was when the NBA players were like, "Nah, he's actually pretty good." After that workout with the Team USA, when they were like, "Yeah, no, he's
like, yeah,
actually,
no,
he's."
Pretty good.
He's and the thing they said about Ace Bailey, they said he's young, which is their way of not throwing him under the bus, saying he's immature,
right.
but he's a bucket. But he doesn't play defense well. He doesn't know how to help. See, that's the other thing. Cooper Flag know how to do that shit. With
Cooper Flag is
he's going to be a good.
He's
yeah,
all around.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Whether or not he's great or whatever, no, he's legit getting 17 points a game, like.
8 boards,
Yeah.
6 assists, maybe a block.
And I
Maybe a
guarantee
steal.
you this: at some point in time, his rookie year, he's going to catch somebody.
I can see that.
Because somebody's gonna jump, not thinking
Yeah, I can
that
see
this
that.
motherfucker about to dunk on me. He's going because he does it. I've seen him do it. High school highlights. I've seen him do it at Duke. He's going to do it.
He's
He's going because somebody gonna be
He's
like,
gonna
no,
dunk
look,
on me.
I'm gonna get this white boy shit, and he's going to catch somebody. Oh, you want to hear my crazy conspiracy theory
Sure.
about movies and TV?
Ooh, I got one.
Y'all hear? All right, so Reginald Vale Johnson, right?
Got you.
Did y'all know he was
That's
in?
the one.
Yeah,
That
y'all
was
know
the
he's in
one.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Do I know that
All the
Reginald
way
Vale
to
Johnson was in
Family Matters.
Ghostbusters? Yes.
So he was a cop in Ghostbusters.
He was the cop who opened the gate. Ghostbusters.
Right.
The mayor just, yeah, go ahead.
So a couple things happened. He was there when they were talking about Twinkies and the whole rant about Twinkies. He was there because that happened at the police station, right? So he was there for that. And in there, he shoots a little kid accidentally. Right? When the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Okay.
Right. So the theory goes that he loses his shit because of that, moves out, stays a cop. He moves out to L.A. Because here's the
Because he was a
connection.
diehard.
Yes,
Hey,
but what does he do when he goes to the store and die? And when he goes to the store and Die Hard, the little corner store, he goes to get some fucking Twinkies. So you have everything you have everything that happens in Die Hard, right? So everything that happens in all the Die Hards, he just loses his mind and goes into an insane asylum, right? So everything that happens in Family Matters is a figment of his imagination. And the little kid that he killed in Ghostbusters is Steve Urkel. That's why the catchphrase is, "Did I do that?" Because he's rubbing it in, and I'm like, "Damn, you killed me. I was a little kid."
Actually, that's not that bad. Hey, actually,
And
that's not that bad.
It was. I seen somebody else like under the video of it. Somebody was like, "That's why people go upstairs and disappear because none of them are real." I was like, "Well, damn, like, it's all right, hold on, man, hold on, man."
Oh, shit.
Al Powell is a rookie cop in New York. After witnessing firsthand the near destruction of life on Earth, he's unable to think clearly on the job. He accidentally pew-pews a young boy. The investigation concluded he did nothing wrong, but he knew he couldn't stay on the police force. He decides to get a non-stressful job as a limo driver and assumes the job name of Gus so people don't associate him with the accident. He meets Crocodile Dundee and befriends him. Dundee persuades Al to move to LA, start fresh, and resume his police career that he was so good at. He applies for a transfer to LAPD and begins working his way back up the ladder. We see him buying Twinkies, clearly still consumed with Egon's explanation from back in New York. He's still not in a good place mentally. He admits to the store clerk that the Twinkies were for his pregnant wife, but unfortunately this is a lie. Al is all alone. There is no wife. There's no wedding ring on his finger. That night, the events at Nakatomi Plaza force Al into using his weapon once again to take a life in the line of duty. John McClane doesn't stay in touch, and the police chief takes all the credit for saving the day. Al completely breaks down and is admitted to a mental institution. To escape the pain, he created an alternate reality in his head. He's now Carl Winslow, a family man in Chicago, as far away from both coasts as possible. He's still a cop, but his duties never interfere with a solid, loving home life, and he's never in danger. However, the guilt of his real life is bubbling underneath until it finally pushes its way into Al's dream. 13-year-old boy named Steve Urkel, the very same boy that Al killed accidentally in New York. Carl is powerless against Steve's haunting nature, causing him problems every time he's around, continues to get worse and worse, eventually giving him a heart attack and having his family disappear one by one. His dream crumbles, leaving only Al Powell alone in a straitjacket in a padded room until he dies.
I'm sure everyone remembers Carl Winslow, right? The guy from what?
That's what it was like. Hey, man, these young kids on the internet, man.
So
pretty good.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
So what kind of drugs you think that person was on? Whoever like
Came up with
was
that.
like, hey, you know what?
Peyote, nigga.
You know what? You know what? See, they don't want to tell you. They don't want to tell you. Carl Winslow. Yeah. That ain't really his real name. Nah, ain't his real name. Like what?
Know what it is? They probably watched 2 of the movies within a week, and they remember Family Matters because they probably was a kid when Family Matters was out, so they just remember Family Matters, but never probably saw Die Hard and all that shit because they were little when Family Matters came
They
out,
threw
right?
in Crocodile Dundee.
I know. What I'm saying is they went
got
back.
that.
They went back and watched. They went back and watched
They put
those
4
movies.
All 3 of them bitches.
Yeah.
It was
Hey,
like,
that shit like a
what
parlay.
do they all
The
have in
3
common?
movies was easy.
Yeah,
4
4?
movies? Oh, that's extra. That's extra $100.
You may want to cash out right now.
Oh shit, man. What y'all getting into? Weekend's over. How was Cortez's 50th birthday party?
He enjoyed himself.
Did you enjoy yourself?
I just got off work.
What them bitches was looking like? No.
I wasn't looking.
You're in a committed relationship?
With God, always.
God, this nigga.
You know what's funny about that? You say the final phase of a refined hoe is over religious.
Religious or religious.
This nigga come in here with the Bible and shit.
You're a refined hoe. You just prove
That's just.
He gonna come in here with glasses on, a suit, and with the Bible tucked under, and he gonna have the Bible with the zip leather case So before we start pod, hold on, y'all. Let me pray over the pod.
Yeah.
My mama, her Bible that she done had for 30 years since I was little. It's
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's a relic.
Got the zipper?
Man, it's
on,
a
man.
briefcase. Like you flip
Yeah.
it over, it got so much stuff. I need to go through that. That's where the shit at.
That's what the shit is.
I be thinking about my mom, just thinking about something, be like, where is that coat? I need to go through them pockets. That sound like a robber or something.
Find a random P.O. box at a random
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah, it's so much.
Let the adventure begin.
Yeah, I mean, let me look. It'll be something. It ain't like nothing like a big pot at the end of the rainbow, but it'd be like $57 in Bitcoin over here, or you know what I'm saying? Coinbase got $117 in it. It'd just be like,
Yeah, you'll see that, but then you ain't got the code to actually.
I can send it to myself though. I got. Yeah, nigga. All right, man, we out of here, man.
Bless you.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
My bad.
What you getting into?
West
this
Nile. What happened?
What you getting into this weekend? I mean, what did you get into?
Oh man, went to graduation in Milwaukee, turnaround day trip.
Oh,
Yeah, that was on. Oh man, I
Lisa
ate that.
just did that
No, the AC in the car went out
on one of them hot days.
last week. It was like last Monday.
All right, man, y'all hold it down, man. We gonna be here next week, God willing.
Yeah.
The beat is real.
You do your struts of this down the street, you know. You gotta have a little bop to it.
That's what the Kappas used to do.
Beat goes on.